Welcome back, folks, to another episode of It Takes a Village podcast. My next guest is the epitome of perseverance and inspiration. I can actually say that he's teed me up on the basketball court multiple times, but I'm not going to hold that against him. Mr. Sheldon Guy, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I want to start just by saying what an incredible human you are. I've known you for several years, way before COVID, as a coach and as a referee. I've spent many times debating calls on the basketball court, but I think we have a really good relationship. You've given back so much to the basketball community on many levels, but I think we just want to right off the bat and just say that you are now blind, and
Yeah.
that's happened recently, and you've been telling your story on CTV and TSN. Before we get into that piece, can you just tell the listeners and viewers who Sheldon Guy is, where you grew up, your kind of your story of how you came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, like you said, my name is Sheldon Guy. I was actually born in Edmonton, Alberta, and I resided there till I came back. Um, I came here in 1989 or 90, when I was just getting out of elementary school and getting into high school. So moved out here. My upbringing wasn't the easiest. I was a middle kid, so I'm middle of five, and we all had different dads. And my dad wasn't around, so I didn't have my original dad there. But my dad that did raise me was my sister's dad, and he raised me since I was 2 years old. And he was my male kind of guy in my life that helped me through things. But then my mom obviously remarried and had a man that she married a man from Alberta, and I wasn't his favorite, to say the least. There was a lot of abusiveness that happened within that relationship. I wasn't a fan of his. So I had to survive. I had to survive quite a bit throughout my late elementary and early high school career. When I moved to Vancouver, didn't know one person, didn't know a friend at all. And it was hard. It was hard moving from Alberta, where you knew everybody, to a province and a city that you didn't even know. And I moved to Surrey. Um, walking around, I'll never forget this, walking around and just trying to figure out the neighborhood and find out where the Max was and where the wave pool was and where the buses were and all that sort of stuff. I started to talk to people, but being a black kid in Newton, people weren't really jumping out of their vehicles or off the buses to talk to me. So back in that era, there wasn't a lot of black people in our world. So at any rate, I ended up going to Frankfurt Secondary. In my grade, we had 4 or 3 black guys, and that was unheard of in any school in Surrey. Usually they have the token 1 or 2 in the school. We had 3 in one grade. So we kind of became best friends. And to this day, I'm still best friends with one of them. And I found sports to be just my outlet behind my rough home life. Yeah. I was scared to go home. There was times in grade 10 where, I was asked to leave the house and I had to sleep, elsewhere, or downtown or on the streets or what have you. And because of this relationship. So it was a little difficult, but, I was able to come out of it through sports. And I really found just being in the gym all the time, whether it was, I came here as a volleyball and a track athlete. I never played basketball in Edmonton. And I remember I was in grade 9. I came here in grade 9, and I was a middle blocker for the senior team. I was trying out for the junior team, and they pushed me out for the senior team because I could jump. And I remember the basketball coach, Mr. Du Bois, walking in, and he was asking the volleyball coach, "Who is that kid?" And they said, "Oh, he's a new kid from Edmonton." And Mr. Du Bois walked up to me and said, "Hey, in a couple weeks we're having basketball tryouts, and you're going to be there." I'm like, "I don't play basketball," and he's like, "I said I'm a track guy and a volleyball guy," and he's like, "You're playing basketball." So, anyway, I started to play basketball and started to fall in love with it just because I was faster than everybody. So all they did was throw it to me, and I had an outlet, and I did a lip. And in grade 9 and grade 10, you don't really need an offense. It's just basically one big guy gets a rebound, throws it to you, and away you go. So I became pretty good at basketball just because I outran everybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I use that word outlet because it was really an outlet. I used to stay at school till 6, 7 o'clock at night just so I didn't have to go home and have to deal with the home life. So basketball was the gym, school is a real outlet for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so, going through my high school, I ended up going and getting my business finance and Kines degree through Douglas. And I played there for a year and a bit, but then just focusing on my studies. And then, graduated the business finance degree, worked for TD Bank as a investment banker for TD Wealth Management, and then got into the sales side of life, and then ended up getting into the fitness industry side of things just because I like to work out, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what's brought me here today. I coach. I've been coaching. I think I coached while I was in high school. I was coaching the senior girls volleyball team, or the junior girls volleyball team. I'm sorry. And I've always had a knack for coaching, yeah, and
Yeah.
giving back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I respect you and all the other coaches that just put in that free time. It's free. You don't
Mm-hmm.
get paid for it. And people think, it's such a glorious job. And I think it's such a garbage job. It's worse than garbage men. They make more than coaches and we get more flack. So then I got into coaching, and then I've coached my daughters, both at Centennial, coached my son at Semi, coached at LSS, and now I'm coach at Salish in North Surrey, and now I'm at Clayton Heights with the grade 8s, moving them up to, or following them all the way up to grade 12. So,
Oh, good for you. Um, can we just go to, I want to say, I mean, the year 2021, kind of get into the details um, of how you lost your vision. I want to say, I don't know the actual technical term for it, but from what I've seen and read, it's essentially a stroke of the eye. Is that true?
yeah. And the story is, it's so real. Yeah. It was 2021 when I started losing my vision. In 2022, I finally got the final diagnosis that um, it was called anterior ischemic optic neuropathy in my eye. And to this day, it's still hard. Yeah. It's a hard story. It's hard to gravitate to. It's almost impossible to deal with or to accept. And I'm a man of faith, so I always argue or pray and say, when will this bad dream ever stop? Uh, a lot's been a lot's been stripped from me within losing my vision. Yeah, I've lost I've lost independence. Yeah, I've lost confidence. I've uh, I've lost adaptability in terms of being able to uh, figure life out from this side of things. It's a as we sit here and talk about it, it's still emotional. It's still emotional just to bring up that, it was only in 2022
Mm-hmm.
and we're only in 2026. And yeah, so that's kind of what happened.
There's so many questions I want to ask you, Sheldon, but um, like, was there a specific moment that you knew it happened, or was it just gradual, or?
No, it was within 3 weeks. Yeah. So within 3 weeks, if you think of a dimmer switch, It was like within 3 weeks that my vision went from totally seeing
Mm,
to nothing at all.
mhm.
So it was something that you couldn't control.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was difficult because you just wanna be like, "Okay, stop," but it keeps going and just gets getting darker and just darker and darker and darker till you get into the hospital, and then it was like somebody just blew out the candle, like, and then lights out. Yeah, yeah, and so I'll never forget the day I had to go into the hospital.
Mhm.
My son was there, and I knew something was wrong, so I was like, "I gotta go to the hospital."
Yeah.
And, my son was going to work, and was at the top of the stairs, and I was at the bottom of the stairs, and I looked at him, he's like, "Dad, are you gonna be okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know if I'll ever be able to see you again." And, he was the last thing I saw.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's incredible.
yeah.
That is incredible. And I know you're a man of faith and a family man, and you're heavily involved in community. Um, I wanna say that you still have extremely positive vibes, as the kids say, vibes these days.
Mhm.
Having known you for as long as I have, like, just always, looking at in a positive way.
Try to,
So much
yeah.
so that you're still coaching, you're still involved with high school sport and, accessibility, advocates for others. You've started a charity called Improve Her Game. Do you wanna get into a little bit about that, what that is?
Yeah, before we get into that, I think there's a piece to this that I think your listeners and viewers really need to understand, yeah? And if you don't mind, I'd like to take you back to, a time where I had to use one of my Ps, and I've got 3 Ps that I'm gonna share with you. And when diagnosed in the hospital, no bedside manners, no sympathy or empathy, um, and this is really hard. So excuse me, but it's when you're giving almost like a death sentence, yeah? That you're gonna be blind for the rest of your life. You start to think to yourself, hmm, you start to think to yourself, what's there to live for? And those thoughts become real, yeah? And so given that piece of information, you need to start making some really crazy decisions, yeah? And I'm sorry, this story is emotional.
Yeah, I'm here with you, brother.
It's emotional, and, given given those choices, given that I'll never forget it. I went into my room, and I closed the door, and I took my bed, and I put it toward the window, and I took every pill that was on the table, must have been 15 or 20, and I put it in my left hand, and I climbed into bed, and I made this decision, "Yeah, this is gonna be it. I'm not leaving here." And I put it in my left hand, and I said my goodbye message to Jaden because this is gonna be it, and as I went to press play, her I was just gonna pop, press, and just lay there.
Mm,
And so I went I went to put the pills into my left hand, And just as I was about to put them in my mouth, my phone goes off. So I left my left hand sitting there, and I listened to my message, and it was a text message from Jaden. And the text message said, "I love you, Dad. You'll get through this. God's got you."
Wow. Wow.
And I'm thinking, that saved my life,
Mhm.
because I listened to it once again with my hand cocked, and I basically said, once I heard it again, I said to myself, I can't do this.
Mhm. Mm.
I got to pivot. I got to figure this out. Yeah. So at that point in time, his story got really real. I almost went home. Yeah. And I apologize for the tears,
No need to apologize, my friend.
and the emotions, but this story just sits just on the top. You know what I mean? It's like just sits, it's just simmering right there.
Mhm.
So um I feel that that's an important pivoting moment for me, because I could have made a different decision.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could have
Totally.
made a completely different decision. And I choose not to. I chose not to not choose. I
Mhm.
chose not to. And so I actually ended up getting out of the hospital ASAP, and I went back to coaching a couple weeks later, and I had registered my team in the TBI, the Howard Samara
Mhm.
tournament, and we were in that tournament, and I had told Howard what had happened to me, and he said he still wanted me in the tournament. So
Mhm.
I went, and that was the first time I was on the court blind.
Wow.
I was contacted the second day. The second day, Jaden and I were going to the LEC, the Langley Event Center.
Mhm.
We were walking from the truck, and I was holding Jaden's shoulders, and Jaden said, "Dad, there's a ton of guys with cameras, and they're looking at us." I'm like, "Okay, well, I just going to the gym, like we got a game to coach."
Mhm.
And they started running at us. He's like, "Dad, they're running at us right now." I'm like, "What? What do you mean they're running at us?" And so we stopped, and then they came up to us, and the TSN executive director was there, TSN was there, CTV, CBC, Global, everybody was there, because they'd found out that, I don't know how, I have no idea how they found out,
Mm.
but this executive director was from Toronto and jumped on an overnight to be at the tournament because he heard there's a blind basketball coach, and
Wow.
he needed this story.
Mhm.
Um, so they followed me around for the tournament, and then probably 2 or 3 weeks after that. And that's kind of where my pivot story on the internet came from. I can tell you this. I'll be dead honest with you. Before I lost my vision, you could go on Google and maybe find one thing on me. Now you go on Google and there's like 4 pages of me. So it's just like, it's ridiculous. I can't hide from anybody anymore. So
Totally. Totally.
um
Not even me.
not
I
even you.
I can't be
Exactly.
done.
I reconnected with you, and I was like, wow, the whole band's back together. So
Totally.
so yeah, so I just thought, I apologize about the emotion part of that. I think it's important. It's an important part of the story, because that's where one of my P's came through, where I had to
Mhm.
pivot. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
I had to persevere, and I had to find purpose. And so going into your question, I think your question was about improve our game, yeah?
Yeah.
Um So Improver Game is a division of G2 Athletics, and it's a women's program that I've been part of since 2017, 2018. And it's really to promote and allow girls a platform where they can be heard, seen, and acknowledged, all within the same kind of motion. We're not a high-powered elite club team. We're a team that allows girls that maybe they financially can't afford to play spring, or they don't have the confidence to go out to some of these other clubs and play spring. We accept everybody and all exactly who you are. Yeah.
That's
And we
awesome.
train them that way. So I wanted them to be able to have a good coach like myself and my coaching staff, my junior coaches, as well as Gabe Gibbs. He's the founder of G2, and he saw my vision, literally my vision when I had vision,
Mm.
and we ran with it. So it's been in the works since 2017, 2018. But Improver Game has really just kind of commenced in the last year and a half in terms of a girls program. So it's a nonprofit organization, and we just want to put girls on the court, put them out of trouble, and allow them to be heard, seen, and acknowledged. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I that's such an incredible endeavor that you're putting together, Sheldon. When I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I mean,
Thank
especially
you.
being a former girls coach myself, right? There's more opportunities now, but I think, especially the kids at the margins, we're not, you know, there's not a lot of kids that can afford thousands of dollars for club basketball and et
Correct.
cetera. So, we need to be supporting those who are passionate about the game and want to get better and but might not have the financial need, right? So I
Absolutely.
definitely appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Um, I just, maybe getting into some of the details, like, when you're actually on the court, you talk about the Howard Samura tournament.
Mm.
What are some things that you noticed about yourself, you know, maybe after you lost your vision compared to before? Like, you coach differently? Are you, are you saying things differently? What are some of your takeaways?
It's kind of weird because I don't know if you got a chance to watch the video, but one of the athletic directors at LSS, he was just shocked because I was calling things in plays like I could see them. Yeah. And I've been around basketball for over 2 decades, so I kind of know the game a little bit.
Of course.
And he was really shocked. The things that I can hear, how the girls are running, if they're running heel to toe, if they're running on their toes.
Mm,
I could tell where the ball's being shot from, what finger they're releasing from, if they've got an extension on their shot, just based on where the ball's hitting. Um, Number of dribbles. I know how many dribbles it take goes from the elbow of the key down to the lane line, the last block on the lane line. I know
mhm,
exactly how many dribbles it should be to get there. If I hear more than 5 or 6 dribbles, we're dribbling too long. We're panicking. In our offense, I know where the ball's supposed to be. I know who's supposed to be here. I know who's supposed to be there. I know who's supposed to be coming up for the screen. I know all that sort of stuff. Yeah. I try and teach the girls audible cues. So if I yell out, "Who's got shooter?" One of my players, Chelsea, she's so good at it. She'll say, "Chelsea's got shooter," and or my players will be come up and they'll say, "Kiara speaking" or "Faith speaking," and so I'm teaching them how to communicate with a blind coach. Yeah,
that is
so it's
unreal. That is so cool.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's different. It's different because we're kind of learning off of each other. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm teaching them, they're teaching me, and uh, yeah. So when you watch me now, you hear my players, call out, Coach Sheldon, I'm on your left. Coach Sheldon, I'm on your right. I did that opposite, or left, right. I'm in front of you. I'm here. Um, I've got the ball. I'm just trying to think of key things they think say on the court.
Yeah.
I call out who's in help. Faith's in help, right? Who's got ball? Kiara's got ball. Who's got help side? Who's got high help? Chelsea's got high help. Um, who's shooting or who's off ball? Kiana's off ball.
Mhm.
So I'm teaching them to tell me where they are, what they're doing, so I
Mhm.
can visualize it in my brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's a learning. You as a former coach, you had some amazing players. You had the Gill sisters. You had a phenomenal team. just a
I got
powerhouse in the
lucky.
province.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's luck. You definitely put a lot of work and time, blood, sweat, and tears into those girls.
Mhm.
And I saw them right from like I refed you and saw what you did. And so the difference is you can make those adjustments on the fly. If you need to go to a 2-3 zone or a 1-3-1, you need to put in a different press break to get out of Walnut Grove's collapsing press or whatever.
Totally. Totally.
You can make those adjustments. That's where I struggle. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I don't get the information as quick as possible to make
Right.
those adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where I struggle. So that's where I really lean on my assistants, um, Nisha and Jaya, even Gabe when he comes, or in my regular high school season, my student coaches that help me out. So, but again, it's a learning thing. So they don't know what they're like. What do I tell them? What does he
Mhm.
need to know?
Mhm.
I ask them all the time, just different. Okay, so whose man um just scored, and where's this girl, and is this girl walking back, and I can tell, and I ask, and I get confirmation. So when Jaden was around in 2022, he was great. He was great. I can feed off of him. I hear a ball go in. I'll be um, I'll be cheering with them as the ball goes in. So might be a tad bit late as the ball goes in. We're running back on defense, and or my high fives might be a little high, a little low. But you know, I adapt every season.
Yeah.
I sit and reflect. I'll be reflecting next month in terms of our spring program and where I can improve, where I
Mhm.
can help the girls, and where I can improve with them and help them improve because I want to improve her game.
Mhm. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sheldon. It's just such an inspiration, and I know you'll eventually be coming to our school, and
Yeah.
you do some inspirational and well, speaking engagements with schools, and I know you're quite busy with that. And I think the message there is the three P's that you just kind of talked about, right? So I encourage anybody listening to this, if you have an opportunity to watch some of the TSN CTV videos, but also if you have a chance to be in person to see your presentation, I know it'd be quite meaningful. So
Yeah,
um,
it's gonna be real quick.
yeah,
I don't necessarily call it inspirational. I just want to touch on this real quick. I did a Fort Langley Elementary
yeah,
last week, and I had the principal, Logan Kittingham, played at Trinity. He was very worried about K to 4. How are they going to sit through 45 minutes of me talking?
hmm,
And you could hear a pin drop in that school.
wow,
The kindergartens were right into me. But here's the more powerful part. After I left, they went home. They talked to their parents about who they met today, their three P's that I shared with them. And then the next day, or next day and a couple days after, the kindergarten class in their journal entries were writing all the three P's, and they drew a picture of me with my stick and a basketball. And I think I shared that with you on an email, but um, that's the power. That's the power of my story. It's not inspirational. It's
mm,
letting kids know that it's okay not to be okay. It's
that's
completely
awesome.
fine. So I just wanted to let your viewers know that it's not an inspirational story. It's a story of motivation. It's a story of triumphs. It's a story of pivoting, perseverance, and finding purpose. And every day, I'm
Hmm.
trying to work on the purpose side of things. Yeah.
So that was going to be my next question. Maybe I'll transition to another one. Why is it important for people to hear this message? But I guess another way of framing is that what advice would you give somebody who has life altering challenges or changes?
I think the biggest thing is it's okay not to be okay. As you just saw, and the viewers saw, I'm 6 feet, I'm 230 pounds, and I'm emotional. Yeah. It's okay not to be okay. It's completely fine.
Yeah.
And I think that some of the things that happen to me in the public are other things that I got to use my three P's on. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I won't go into too much details, but I'm called the blind N word at least a couple times a year as I'm walking, right? There's the blind N word, right?
Mm.
Um,
Wow.
I've been beat,
Unbelievable.
I've been beaten up in New West. I've been hit by a truck at the LEC because they think I need to be in a wheelchair. I've had cab drivers overcharge me because they know I can't see the rate. I've had Uber drivers recently just steal my meat out of my Costco shop. They stole my meat right out of my box
Wow.
because I can't see. Yeah. I've had people in White Rock. I walk the White Rock Pier quite a bit, and I've had people spit on me. They say, "Hey, can you see this?" I'm like, "Nope, didn't see that." Or I've had
Wow.
people kick my cane out of my hands. Yeah. I'm a target. 120% I'm a target. I'm 6 feet. I'm black. I'm athletic, a little chubby, but I'm a target, and they want that notch underneath their belt. So, but with that being said, I have to pivot, I have to persevere, and I have to continue to find purpose. Yeah. And
Mhm.
so that's what I try to do each and every day when I wake up. So unfortunately, I was down at the pier and there was a threatening comment for to be tossed over the pier. Um, but I have to do exactly what I said I was going to do when that day in the hospital. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
got to pivot. So
Mm.
the message that I share are obviously my 3 P's,
Mhm.
but it's okay not to be okay. It's
Okay.
completely fine. Yeah. And when you hear little kindergarten saying that in the courtyard while I'm leaving, "Hey, Coach Sheldon, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay." And then they go home and they tell their parents that,
Yeah.
we're doing a great job.
Yeah.
We're doing a great job of getting that out there.
Yeah, and yeah, I was going to ask you, Sheldon. A lot of my themes in the podcast is, their views on success, and I think you just kind of answered that for me, right? Has your definition changed regarding success over your lifetime? Like, what does that mean to you?
One of the things I think that's so powerful with me talking to businesses and schools and universities and colleges and whoever else wants to hear my story is they see it real, raw, and authentic. Yeah. I'm not a Tony Robbins. I'm not rocking in with, the Arsenio Hall and trying to hype everybody up. I'm not doing that. I'm telling them exactly what I'm going through. They're seeing the tears. So the success is when I hear them repeat to me my 3 P's, and the next day I have a kindergarten class writing it in their journals, not being prompted by their teachers at all. That's edged in their mind. Yeah. And so when they see a blind person, they're not going to hesitate to go up and ask them if they need any help or introduce themselves. Yeah.
Hmm.
And it just makes a better world,
Yeah.
makes it more acceptable. But I guess to answer your question directly, people probably sit there and they look at my story and they probably say, "You know what? My life's not that bad.
Hmm.
I can pivot through this."
Hmm.
Real quick, I coached an all-star game, a girls all-star game here in Langley, and I had a girl come up, and I won't name her name, but I had a girl come up and pull me into the coach's office, and she made me feel her wrists. And this is one of the top guards of that year. She's one of the top guards in the province. She's probably 4 or 5, came from Walnut Grove, great guard. Um, she's in an adopted family, and she tried to kill herself, and she had everything.
Hmm.
She could go to D2 school, all tons of universities in Canada wanted her, and she just couldn't figure out who she was. And she figured ending her life was the next best thing until she heard my story.
Wow.
When she heard my story, she pulled me into the coach's room and she wanted me to feel her wrist. And I felt her wrist. And she says, um, "I've been trying to do that for weeks, but I wanted to hear your story, and now I know
Hmm.
that it's okay not to be okay. It's completely fine, and I can go get help." Yeah. So
Hmm.
that's a success. If we can save one, if we can connect with one,
Yeah.
we've done our job. With my story, with everything, with our connection, with everything. If we get to one, we've done great. Yeah.
Part of my podcast as well as asking some rapid fire questions. But before I do, I want to ask you one more question,
Yeah.
and then I'll give you the final word. What does going forward look like for Sheldon Guy, short term and long term?
Jeez. That's,
I know it's
I'd
a deep.
like, yeah, that's a big question. I'm continuing to find advances in researches to get some of my vision back. Yeah. So I'm working with a doctor in Germany. Working with Dr. Claire Sheldon at UBC. I'm working with a doctor in Boston to see if we can wake up some of those sleeping optic nerve cells in my eyes. I have them. They're there. They're
Hmm.
not dead. I just got to figure out how to wake them up. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm part of not clinical trials, but I'm part of some research that's happening out there. So long term, even short term, actually, I'm working on that. I'm not just sitting back and saying, but on the same token, I'm trying to adapt to my new world. Yeah. Whether that's going for walks, getting on a handy dart, getting in an Uber, going to the beach, like just trying not to let those things scare me. It's scary. If
Mm-hmm.
you close your eyes and you try and walk around your house or go and pick up your kids or
Mm-hmm.
try and make a meal with your eyes closed, it's
Mm-hmm.
difficult. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that would be short term. Long term, I really want to see my improver game program and foundation really just grow with some amazing girls. We've had some amazing girls come through the program, and we call them hidden gems. No college, university, or high school coach have ever seen these girls, and they come out and they flourish. We've had girls go to SFU. We've had girls go to University of Ottawa. We've had girls go down south. We've had girls go to Thompson Rivers University. We've had girls go to Nathan State. All because these coaches Douglas College, just all because these coaches have never seen them. So we call them our hidden gems. Yeah. Every school that's not on your top 25 list has got 2 or 3 girls that are pretty decent, but
Mm-hmm.
I've also got 4 or 5 girls that are just on that bubble. We want those 4 or 5 girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to
Okay.
bring them in and bring them into our family. So that's my long-term goal. I want to really push my foundation and get it to where, it's comfortable, where we're really making an impact on some of these
Mm-hmm.
girls that are coming up.
Well, I'd say you're doing that already. That's pretty incredible.
Trying. Yeah. Trying.
Okay. Okay, just for the sake of time, Sheldon, we're pushing 40 minutes here, and I know this is we could talk about this for hours, but
I apologize.
no, no, this is great. What is okay? So a few questions for you.
Go for it.
Who is your all time favorite athlete?
Tim Duncan.
Tim
Actually,
Duncan.
Tim Duncan and Tom Brady. Tom Brady went 199th in the draft, and he's the GOAT. So you can't argue with Tom Brady. 199th in the draft. I'll never forget the game that I was watching. Bledsoe went down. A coach said, "You're in, Brady." He didn't know where his helmet was. He picked up a lineman's helmet and went into the game. And I don't think he didn't start after that. So Tom Brady, and then Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. I love the Spurs. Still a Spurs fan. Got my Wemby jersey. So I'm a Spurs fan. But Tim Duncan came out of Wake Forest, Mr. Fundamental. Nothing flashy about Tim. Comes out, does his job on defense, on offense. Wemby's gonna be the next Tim Duncan for sure. So
Could you're talking like Stump the Schwab, that old show? Could you rattling off all these? Uh, okay, who is your biggest mentor growing up or currently?
mentor. Whew. Well, my father was a big one until he passed away. So I would say, my brother is a big mentor to me. Even going through this, he's a big protector. Um, Fortunately, Dan, I don't have a lot of people that were in my world as I grew up. I kind of grew up on my own. I had to grow up on my own. So I don't have a ton of mentors per se that I kind of lean on. Kind of done everything myself, parent myself, get my education myself, played basketball myself. So, but my dad, when he was here, he's definitely my idol for sure. Yeah. And I want to go back. Tim Duncan, Tom Brady, Celine Dion. Yeah.
Oh,
There. I
oh,
just mic drop. I'm out.
okay. Yeah. What's going on there? Tell me.
Celine Dion, I just think she's absolutely fantastic. I
All
have
right.
been following her for decades, and I actually paid $1,000 in Vegas to sit I literally was hanging off the ceiling of the Coliseum listening to her sing. It was my once and only time to watch her. She was supposed to come to Vancouver, and I had great tickets, and then she got sick, unfortunately. But I just love who she is. I love the person she is. I honestly wish, maybe she'll see this podcast, but I really wish she saw my story and I could actually meet her, because that would be just an ultimate dream. If I could meet one of those 3 people, I think I'd be okay to go home.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna blast this all over social media, and I'll tag her, and maybe she'll reach
I
out.
appreciate it. Celine, I'm here. Tom, I'm here. Tim, I'm here.
I'm not quite sure I have that pull. I'm gonna do everything I can though.
I appreciate you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Okay. What's one habit that keeps you grounded?
Prayer. Prayer and breathing. Yeah, I'm a man of faith. So, as you saw in the podcast, I breathe to regulate my nervous system. Yeah, and I pray, and I don't pray like I don't know how to pray. I just have a conversation with God, and I just sometimes it's a mean conversation. Um, I really need to talk to you, Lord, because the last time we talked, the walk has been hard. And sometimes I yell at him, sometimes I scream at him, sometimes I cry at him, sometimes I praise him. Yeah. But I just have a conversation. And that's what kind of keeps me grounded. Yeah. Mm,
Sure. Last question
that's
for
awesome.
you. What is one thing everybody should be grateful for?
Vision.
I knew that was coming.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, not to make it sad, but I miss facial expressions. I miss going to White Rock and seeing the water. I miss a blue sky. I miss clouds in the sky. I miss seeing the sun. I miss my girls are teaching me side eyes, which I didn't know what a side eye was. Do you know what a side eye is?
The side eye is 100%. I got a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. I don't know what a side eye is, but now I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
learning what a
there you
side
go.
eye. Yeah.
Hey,
Learning what a side eye is. So vision, taking those little things that we take for granted. Yeah. Cause they can go like that, like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Sheldon, I want to give you the final word. Any takeaways, pieces of advice for people, things that or something that you want to share with anybody who's listening right now?
I think first and foremost, I want to thank you for having me. I think this is a great platform to be able to share these sort of stories. My story isn't happiness and rose petals. My story is real. It's raw. It's authentic. What I want listeners to go away from this is it's okay not to be okay. Yeah, and it's completely fine. And if you see something, say something. I know you brought up that I was part of an advocacy group. When you see something, say something. If I can't book a flight on Air Canada, I call Air Canada and I tell them I can't book a flight. They fly me out to Montreal. I meet with the VP of operations. We change the game because now you've got a voice activated system where anybody can call Air Canada reservations, say where they're going, what airport they want to get from, what seat they want, pay by credit card, all by voice. And that's
Mhm.
just by seeing something, saying something. So when you think about calling the school and pressing 0, how do I find the 0? It should be automated, right? If you need the front desk, say front desk or press 0. If you want Dan Village, say Dan Village or press 3. Those things are easy for us to do. Say something, say something. So I'm working with some pretty big organizations, BC Ferries, BC Place, Rogers Arena, uh, On Court, the Tempo. They're coming to Vancouver. They want to meet me.
Wow.
I'm working with some big organizations, and my theme is it's okay not to be okay, and see something, say something. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's what I would want all your viewers that are listening and that are seeing this to have that autonomy. If you see something, say something, and say it, and when you see something, say something from a different perspective. Yeah. Close your eyes and try and do it. Close your eyes and try and send an email. Close
Mm.
your eyes and try and boil water. Close your eyes and try and call a MasterCard. Yeah. So those are some things that, if you own a business out there, reflect. How can Sheldon call or do business with me if he's blind? Yeah. So, and I think the school district needs to really step up as well in all provinces
Hmm.
when it comes to visually impaired and accessibility. And sorry, I want to leave it with one thing. I'm trying
Hmm.
to change the word disability because I'm not disabled.
Yeah.
I go to the
Yeah.
gym, I can eat, I can brush my teeth, I shave, I shower. I'm not disabled.
Yeah.
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 I have accessibility needs. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to change that word because that word to me it's gross.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
It means like I can't do anything. I
Hmm.
can drop threes.
Yeah.
So for your listeners that are out there, real quick, if you want to check out my story, just Google my first name, last name, Sheldon Guy, W5 and Pivot. That's my 22-minute documentary. And if you guys want to see me dropping threes on my girls as a blind coach,
Hmm.
please follow us at Improver Game on Instagram. There's a lot of stuff on there. I share a lot of stuff on there, and you'll see me dropping threes on my girls,
Hmm.
taking my best shooter to task. So
Well, thank you. I was going to say, how could we follow you and see your story? That was going to be a part of my closing, but I just want to say, Sheldon, thank you so much for being a teacher of the game, being an official. I think, honestly, being an official is one of the hardest things to do. You kind of said it before. All you do is get flack, right? And it's it can be difficult when you leave a court and you're like, oh man, like that was just 60 minutes of just being berated, right? And
Yeah.
you think you're doing it well, yeah, and I know you do a good job. I always thought that you were, one of the best, if not the best officials, from my
Oh,
experience. So,
thank you.
I just want to say thank you to you. Like I said to start off the episode, you're the epitome of perseverance and resilience, and I think people need to have perspective. And for me, I'm super excited to chat with you in a couple months in person. But again, thank you for coming on the show,
Thanks
and
for having me.
I hope, yeah, I hope your story is reached far and wide, and we can change the game.
I appreciate it. Celine Dion, I'm coming.
All right, and with that, we are out.
All right.